everyone, it's Amanda. Today I'm going to be doing a 24-hour readathon vlog, KU edition. We are having our monthly KU readathon. Me and Sarah from Sarah's Shelves. We do a 24-hour readathon every single month. KU only books. We always have a buddy read. This month we are reading The Never King, which I'm excited for. It's a Peter Pan retelling and it's super short, so we're probably gonna get done with this in like one sprint, so I'm excited for that. And then I plan on picking up B. Celeste's new book, When It Rains. That one's coming in the mail tomorrow, but I also really want to read Jennifer Hartmann's new release, which is June 1st. And I don't know much about this one. I just know I'm ready for it, and it's actually pretty thick compared to her other books, so I'm very, very excited. I love the cover. It has a little rainbow on the back. And then I have Praise by Sara, Cate, which is Praise Kink, and Boyfriend's Dad. Sign me up. So yeah, my goal is to finish at least 2 full-size books along with the novella deal. I don't even know if this is a novella. It just seems like it just because it's so short, but it's actually like almost 200 pages. So I don't know if it would be classified as a novella, but I'm ready. Hopefully you enjoy this video and hopefully I get a 5-star read out of this. Be sure to like and subscribe down below for more bookish content from me. I'd love to have you here, and I'm gonna start reading. The aesthetic is Sarah talking in the background.
I'll sing you to sleep.
Alright y'all, so I have sprints going right now. We're vibing out, we're chilling, we're having a girls' night. So I'm halfway through The Never King, and so far I'm really, really loving it. I have nothing bad to say, except the writing style kind of threw me off at first with like the short sentences, but I got into it real quick. And we have a reverse harem. It literally just got steamy as we speak. So right at like the 50% mark, and let me say, I was living for the kitchen scene. It has way more fantasy than I was personally expecting, just because I was used to reading like Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which has no fantasy whatsoever. So this one kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't know it had any fantasy elements, but it's still really light on them. So far I'm thinking like a 4-star, but it could definitely be a 5 by the end depending on how it goes. We'll see. I only have like 100 pages left, so let's get into it. Yeah. Alright, so I finished The Never King, and ooh, how do we feel? I feel like the ending was a bit rushed. I feel like one of the characters, the dark one, really took a turn in character towards the end without getting into spoilers. And I feel like his character didn't feel like it was authentic towards the end. There wasn't enough development to get from point A to point B. So the ending, something happens, you know, as it does. And I feel like it didn't make sense for his character. Now, it was kind of explained briefly, his motivations for doing it, but I feel like there could have been 1 or 2 more scenes between Winnie and Vane to make the ending more believable. It was rushed regardless, but it is such a short book and it is a series, so I give it some grace there. I'm gonna rate this 4 stars, and I really liked it. I liked the reverse harem. We've got twin fae princes, but they're banished. We have Peter Pan, of course, and he's kind of a villain. He is not known to be a good person. Then we have Vane, who is the dark and broody / unobtainable, and also he has a shadow of death. He can make you feel fear. So he's an interesting character. Definitely knew where this was going. I was definitely gonna love him the best out of all the characters, but I did like every one of the characters, which is what you want out of a reverse harem. So that was successful. It did feel like a short, low character development story, but did I fault it for that? Not really. I just enjoyed myself. It was a good time. It did get cheesy at times when the retelling parts would come in, like direct quotes from Peter Pan. It just felt kind of out of place when you're reading a reverse harem dark romance and it has stuff like, I don't believe in fairies, and they die because of that. You know what I mean? It just felt a little bit out of place in this type of setting. But most of the retelling parts were really well done, and there was some differences obviously for this world. I will pick up the next book, the dark one, and then the next book comes out soon, I think, too. So this is just like a continuation short series, and I love that. I love to be able to pick something up and just read it in a couple hours. Happy to be moving on to the next book, which is going to be June 1st by Jennifer Hartmann. So excited for this. No. One of you actually just said that you liked this book on sprints, so I'm very excited to pick it up. I don't know anything about it, but I'll give you a synopsis at the like halfway point or so. I'm assuming that it has some tragedy built in there because it's Jennifer Hartmann. You have to have something like that, right? If you haven't read Jennifer Hartmann yet, you definitely should. Still Beating, Lotus, and The Wrong Heart are the main popular ones, and I really love The Wrong Heart. I love Still Beating, and then Lotus was my least favorite out of the three, but I still rated it 4 stars. They're all really good. I like her writing style. So I'm gonna get started on this one, and I'll let you know when I have thoughts. Okay, so I started June 1st, and let me just say, trigger warning, trigger warnings. Look up the trigger warnings. It starts off with huge triggers. I can tell this is already gonna make me cry. I was already tearing up, and it's only chapter 1. There's a lot of tears to come. Just wanted to give that trigger warning real quick in case I didn't mention it later. Sometimes I will think of it but not say it in the video. So definitely heavy. Hello. It is Saturday. I got to page 69 of June 1st last night, and this might be my favorite Jennifer Hartmann book that I've read so far. It is so good. It has one of my favorite tropes, and I just truly think it might be one of my favorites of the year. I don't know, but I really like how it's been going, and it's super sad. So in this one, we have Brant, who is 6 when this book starts, and it starts off with a huge tragedy, and that's why I came on and said trigger warnings, because his dad was abusive, and his mom was going to get them out of the situation, but she was a little too late, and she ends up getting murdered by the dad, and then the dad also commits suicide. So that's the very beginning of the book, chapter 1. And so we obviously have a lot of pain, trauma, stuff like that. This little boy is 6, and he witnessed this. So now the story is focusing on the family that took him in. He had a next door neighbor best friend named Theo, and he took him in. So the family took him in, and Theo was getting a baby sister the same day that Brant's tragedy happened. So this is where the story's coming in. It's kind of taboo. It's going to be foster brother. Right now he's still like 10, so it's just going over their bond and like growing up and stuff. So we have that taboo aspect. It's going to be so good. I can already tell because Brant is already such a good character with a lot of backstory already, and it's only on page 69, and I still feel like I'm connected to him as a character. And I love that feeling of really knowing the character and seeing them grow up from age 6 on. I love that. But I did also just get to June's perspective, which is the sister. So we're gonna get both perspectives in this book, June and Brant. So those are our main characters. So excited to see where this goes. I know there's more tragedy coming because they keep alluding to it. And I just love the way that this is written. It's written in first person and throughout their lives. But then as we go, there's little moments where they'll come in present day, and it's in italics, but they'll come in present day and have his thoughts right now, kind of alluding to the future. I can't wait to find out what happens, what their story is. So let's dive right back in. So I just got to part 2, which is called The Second Tragedy. Tears. I did tear up a bit when they were giving Christmas gifts when they were like, I think 12. So we went through years 6 through 18. So now Brant is 18. We went through his whole childhood, and so now we're gonna get into their more adulting / growing up lives. It's so good. It's so much different than anything I've read before, which is what I like about her books. But I did get a package in the mail, so I'm gonna open it. I think I know what it is. It should be B. Celeste's new book. When It Rains. This is a second chance romance about first love coming back into your life, and I think there's cheating. We'll see how it is. I know B. Celeste usually has good emotional reads, so I should love this one. And also she said it's her steamiest book yet. So yes, if I do finish this one today, after I read June 1st, I'll read this one. But that's a lot to do in one day, so I don't know if I'll get to it. But yes, there's also a weenie. There's a weenie in the book. He got a puppy. He always wanted a puppy, and they got him one for Christmas, and it's a weenie. So you're in my book, Remy. You're so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, mommy. Love Brant so much. Okay, I am now 50% through June 1st, and it is everything. I freaking love this book. I've been crying because everything is just so painful. This is done so well for taboo romance. We still haven't had them connect at all. There's no romance yet, but it is a love story. They are meant for each other, and I love how slow paced it is going. Like in terms of anything intimate between them, nothing has happened. And now June is 18 and he's 24, I believe. So I think they're 6 years apart, but you can feel their love for each other as they grow up, and we're already getting a taste of like the judgments and the family noticing that something is going on, like there's something more going on, especially the brother Theo and his best friend. He's been looking at him strangely. And then a lot of the times June and Brant get pinned as a couple in public. So they already have those vibes and people are noticing, and it's only a matter of time before they actually get together, and it's going to be painful. I already know. The family's not going to approve, obviously. It's so good. It's so good. If you like taboo romance, like not like super taboo, but like foster brother or stepbrother, that kind of thing, this one is probably my favorite I've ever read. And I love those books. And I just love this story of his backstory, and it's not just ignored. You know, like his trauma, he still has that. He still holds that in his heart to this day. And the reason I was crying is because he just went to his mom's grave site, and he had never been there before, and June took him, and it was painful. He had an emotional moment and he was screaming. I just love these kind of books that make me feel something. I just love Brant so much. He deserves the whole world. Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt me. They just kissed. They just kissed, and it was so good. But I'm worried that they were caught by Theo, the blood brother. I'm worried because it ended off on like 2 footsteps and then June ran away. But now we're on Theo's chapter, so I think it was him. All hell is gonna break loose. It's happening. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. No. No. This is painful. break. Okay, I did not see what just happened coming, okay? Okay, it did say second tragedy. I should have known something was gonna happen. Alright, I have somewhat recovered from my breakdown. But guess what? There is another tragedy. I just finished part 2. We're on part 3. Which, say it with me, is the third tragedy. What could it possibly be? I am scared for my heart right now because it's broken. It's already broken. Age 19. June is 19. So my thoughts so far, I can now articulate. I will not be giving spoilers because this book shocked me. I'm just loving learning about all these characters. Nothing is falling short. No character is flat. The mom and the dad are also well developed. And the story, as much as it is slow and you're growing up with the characters, it is going by so fast and the writing style is just perfect. There's beautiful quotes in this. This will be one of my favorite books of the year. I am still rooting for these two characters. I just want to see them happy. But obviously they have a lot of hurdles to jump through to get to their happiness, and there's a lot of grief in this book. I'm gonna get back to reading and we will see how this third part goes. All right, y'all, I have finished June 1st and it was a 5-star read. Of course, you already knew it was coming, but this was so good. Their love story was beautiful. There was smut towards the end of the book and it was hot. And it just had everything that you want in a taboo story. Pick this up immediately. I feel like you will not be disappointed. It really gave me feelings, clearly. That's all I have to say about it. I thought the ending was so beautiful. It wasn't just a romance, it also had their whole lives in it. Their whole lives, their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, and then them at the center. And it's a story about family and forgiveness. Just loved it. Okay, enough about that. So freaking good. Now I'm going to be picking up Praise by Sara Cate. Let's dive in. This one will be way less emotional, so that's good. I need a small break from emotional reads, so I'll wait to read the Be Celeste one because my heart is still heavy from this book. I will check in a second. Okay guys, I am 50% in to Praise. This one's flying by. It is so much fun. Such a good smutty time. This one's ex-boyfriend's dad and he runs this sex club for kinks and she's gonna be his secretary. It has been reminding me a little bit of 50 Shades of Grey in certain scenes. Sara Cate might be a new fave, I don't know. The next book is more my forte. It's Stepbrother, which I just love for taboo. Out of all the taboo / forbidden tropes, that's the one that pulls me in the most. As much as I like age gap, I don't love it. Like, I don't seek it out. And I know a lot of people really love age gap, so I'm just like not one of those people that absolutely love it. Basically, Emerson runs a sex club and she ends up needing her security deposit back and her ex-boyfriend won't get it for her because he has a strained relationship with his dad. He hasn't seen him in like 4 years or something. So she ends up having to go to his mansion to get her security deposit. And there's a little predicament where he thinks she's someone else. And then he ends up asking her to be his secretary, to which she says yes because it has benefits and better pay than her other jobs. Enter tension here. It's forbidden, it's juicy. All right, y'all, so I technically went over the 24 hours. I'm still counting it. I finished Praise. It's midnight now. And you know what? This was a fun ass time. It got even more juicy as we went on, and it had a lot more depth than I expected from a smutty good time ex-boyfriend's dad moment. It had some family dynamics, and I really loved the scene where he's trying to show her her worth. If you know, you know. That was just such a good scene to me. I really liked the woman empowerment in this, the no shame kind of thing going on. I think I'm gonna give this one one a 4.5 because honestly, the ending sold it for me. I really liked the scene where he ends up coming to her family when her dad's exploding on her. And the groveling. He said, I'm gonna get down on my knees for you. And that's how we're gonna end this vlog. So definitely recommend any of these books. I had a very successful KU readathon time. So be sure to join us next month. I think it's gonna be June 10th to the 11th. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.